Make sure to subscribe and of course ring that bell, turn those notifications on so you don't miss my next video. Hey Critter Crew, it's Krystin and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a step-by-step, super easy tutorial on how to build a snowman for your home. So this is really easy, you guys. It is just quite a few steps to get to the final product. But first thing that you are going to need to do is pull out a bunch of the donut rugs and change these to a white color. So this just kind of makes it look like your snow is melting because we are in a home and you guys can change this to any color that you want, but of course we are doing a snowman, so we wanted them to be white. So just kind of making the puddle as big as we want. You guys definitely can use this puddle super big or just like under the actual snowman itself. So I just kind of made mine looking a little bit wonky. Usually I recommend to use 3 of them. I feel like that just adds like the perfect size to go under our snowman. So what I definitely recommend to do for the first couple of layers is to keep your grid too large. Now this is going to be kind of hard to see just because of the rug that's under, but what you're going to want to do is pull those decorative pots and just kind of like move them side by side until you get a perfect circle with them. So I think I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the pots for the bottom layer. And then what we're gonna do is actually pull out the barrier and put it up against the wall and just kind of bring the barrier to the top part of the pot because we are going to make another level on top. So this is just going to kind of make the bottom ball of the snowman. So I felt like adding 3 levels was just a little bit too much, but I think you would want to make it 3 levels if you use this in a mansion that has like taller ceilings. But for a regular home, definitely stick with the 2 pots tall for the bottom level. And then we're just going to pull it up above and we're going to put those decorative pots just kind of behind where the first layer is. So you guys can see we're just kind of making a smaller circle so that we can start making that second middle ball of the snowman. So same thing again, you guys, just a smaller circle, and then we are going to pull up that barrier just to the top of that vase, and then we're just going to put layer number 2. So this one can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes I did have to turn the grid to small just so that I could actually place this at the perfect spot. So once again, we are just kind of duplicating that second level and making this 2 pots tall. Now you guys can see I have been obsessed with using these for tutorials, but they actually just work really well for a lot of things. So for the top level, this is actually going to be the start of the snowman phase. So what you're going to want to do, I do end up going back in and making the grid smaller just so you can play around with it. Now keep in mind, you guys, it is really hard to mess this up just because when it comes to making snowmen, no snowman, you know, really look the same. And some of them just honestly look wonky. Like if you drive by people's homes, some of them are even leaning a little bit. So don't worry if your snowman does not look exactly like mine because it's snowman. So it's just made to have like all of these look completely different. And once again, just kind of layering up that face once again. Now what I did for the head, I ended up making it just a little bit wider than that like top of the middle section, just so that it kind of was standing out as a face, just because when I made it look like too small, I felt like it kind of looked like a white Christmas tree. So you guys, I've actually tested this a million times because I really wanted this to look as cute as we could get it. And as you guys know, we are actually getting a Christmas tree in the next update this Friday or Saturday, I think they said, in Adopt Me. So hopefully we are going to get like some decorative snowman as well. But if we don't, you guys, this is going to be the perfect tutorial for you. So we have the snowman, the main body built. So what we're going to do for the twig arms is actually use an upside down clothing rack. So this is really the only thing I have been able to find, unless you wanted to use like an actual tree, but those do have like leaves on them. or like the big green part. So what you're gonna wanna do with this is pull one of the barriers halfway through your snowman. So we're like in the middle, and then we're gonna use another barrier and kind of angle it because you're gonna want the bottom of the rack to kind of make the rack pointing downwards into your snowman. So you can see it's upside down, and you can just kind of place it so that the top of the rack is like hidden inside of your snowman. So we're just gonna do the same thing, pull the barrier over, and then flip the clothing rack upside down. And you don't have to have them like the same. You can see this one is a little bit different, and it actually snapped up to kind of match. Now what we're gonna do is add the nose. So what I did was actually use that first small tree that had a little bit of like a scoop on the end. And you guys, look at this sideways. Does that not look like an actual carrot for the nose? So what we're doing next is adding the buttons. You guys can definitely slow this down. This is real time, but I have kind of clipped it together. Now what we ended up doing was pulling out some of the glasses and turn them into a black color. So first what you're gonna wanna do is kind of just put your buttons where you're going to want them on your snowman. So we are gonna be layering them to make the buttons a little bit darker, but I did use the cups instead of the bottle just because the cups are bigger and wider and look cuter for the buttons. So I added 3 of them, and I thought that looked kind of perfect spacing for a snowman. And then we're gonna pull out 3 more of the cups, but we're actually gonna place them the opposite way so that the bottom of the glass is actually going to clip with the other ones to make it a little bit darker. You guys will see what I mean. So we're gonna pull out another barrier so that we can actually set the glasses so the bottom part of the glass faces out. And then you're just gonna kind of layer your other glasses on top of the first buttons that we have placed. So it sounds definitely more complicated than it is. So you're just gonna like put your buttons down and then pull like a second layer of your glasses over top. So definitely need to squint your eyes a little bit to see this, but it definitely works on making those buttons super, super dark. I wish that we had like more round like brick shapes. I think those would come in handy. So we're just gonna move the barriers out of the way so you guys can see the buttons and we can work on the eyes. So you can see the buttons are a little bit darker. But like I said, I did want to make sure to use the cups because they were a little bit like chubbier than the bottle. So for the eyes, this is definitely really easy. You're just going to pull out the bottles. Now, if you guys find the part of adding the buttons too complicated, just use the bottles. Honestly, it will still look really cute. And what we did was just use the bottles and pull them up onto Mr. Frosty's face. And they're actually really dark. I just wish, like I said, we had something a little bit like thicker and round, just like the bricks, but round version. All right, so the top of Frosty's head, you guys, was a little bit too pointy. So what I ended up doing was just pulling a barrier just up above so we could pull those same white pots and kind of like merge them into Frosty's top layer, just so that we can have like a little bit of a finished top to kind of make it look like an actual snowball head. So you guys will see, once I put this in, it actually just like completes and finishes Mr. Frosty's head. So like I said, you guys, these are definitely, you know, everyone is going to look different, just like real life. Snowmen, no 2 snowman will actually look the same. And you guys can even be a little bit creative, maybe make some of your melting snow yellow and have like your dogs maybe peeing in the snow. But I really, really hope that you guys did enjoy Mr. Frosty Snowman tutorial here in Adopt Me. Of course, make sure to let me know if you guys do enjoy the real-time version speed build, like the tutorials on all of these. And of course, if you guys have any other ideas or suggestions on some tutorials for wintertime that you would like to see me do here on my channel, of course, let me know down in the comments. Give today's video a very, very big thumbs up, and hopefully I'm gonna see the Critter Crew next time. Bye, guys!